To the uninitiated, M&A risk allocation is simply about agreeing liability caps. Nothing can be further from the truth, and a great example of this is the fraud carve-out provision. Basically, buyers don't mind offering sellers all sorts of caps, de minimis, basket, and aggregate liability caps, so long as there is a clear carve-out for fraud. That means none of the caps will apply if the seller has acted fraudulently. And sellers generally don't mind agreeing to a fraud carve-out. And here's where the job of an M&A lawyer really begins. In evaluating fraud carve-outs, you have to ask the following questions. What is the meaning of fraud? Does the fraud carve-out solely relate to statements within the agreement? Or does it extend to statements made during management presentations, due diligence, and responses to copious pages of requisition lists and inquiries by the buyer and its advisors? Must the seller have actual knowledge that a contractual statement is wrong? Or is there fraud if the seller was reckless as to the accuracy of the statement? For example, if a PE seller or a promoter relies on a statement made by the management team and gives a contractual warranty, which the management team knows or believes to be untrue, would that constitute fraud by the seller? In negotiating fraud carve-outs, buyers want the broadest possible formulation. They don't want to limit fraud to any particular standard of knowledge and want to cover the widest set of persons on the sale side, often going beyond the actual sellers. Sellers, however, want to limit the frame of reference to identified circumstances and persons who have deliberately and knowingly made false statements to induce the buyer and where the buyer has actually relied upon those statements. Therefore, ensuring that your agreement has a clear standard of fraud is critical to successful M&A negotiation. Thank you.